appears, and the on day, and the juicio, el día del juicio,
The judge, the judging,
yeah, the judge day,
judgment day,
judgment day,
the youngest day.
yeah, right. Well, how do you?
The youngest day is like, in the Bible it's already said, the first will be the last. So the first is awareness, the notion of existence, the first thought, the first notion, the first light experience. It's like the first eye, the most subtle eye, as awareness. It's an eye. So this first eye will be is the first, and then it will be the last. Before that, what is prior to that eye, is that what is the source of the eye. It's prior, but not by knowing it to be prior or not knowing it to be prior, simply being prior to that eye thought, which is already an imagination. So the first imagination of I, as awareness, is seen as a phantom. As you are that what is quiet and prior to that first imagination. As it comes out of your very nature. Out of that what you are becomes that light, that sound, that primal source of whatever kind of universal experiences and vibration. The first which the whole universe is made of. The first light, which are, again, the first, all the vibrations, all the informations come from. This first imagination is the first imagination and the last. And what is prior to that is what you are. So the first will be the last. As the first was I, then came I am as space, and then form as information. So first the idea of form drops, then the idea of space drops, and then the I alone cannot remain. As it's already the tendency is going inward, and the I, one cannot be alone, because one cannot remain as one. It has to sink naturally into that what is prior, into that what is light. So this is like the who am I. First the who goes, because by whatever, that who am I, the tendency is going back. Who drops, because the who gets destroyed by the who am I, 24 hours a day. Meditating on the meditator, on the I, the tendency is totally going back to that what is prior. So first the history drops, because that third one, the who, is only living in time. But in that question there is no time. There's not even no time. So the first history drops, gets burned out by that question. Boof. And then the next I am, even the space, drops with this form. The form and the formless drop together. And the I alone cannot remain as I. So it sinks naturally into that what is prior to that I, to that what is the source.
And what happened with the day, with the judge day, the judge?
That's a judgment day, because
This?
one alone cannot be. So that it all starts waking up to I am who? The universe. And then you're looking around, I am who. The whole universe is made out of that self-inquiry. And in one point you see, oh, I could not find myself in any who. So there comes whatever master, whatever guy who tells you, maybe you ask yourself, who am I? And then comes it next, you go back, because the who am I is simply the rear gear. First you have every gear forward, then the reverse, poof, who am I? Who am I? Meditation 24 hours a day becomes a total mood of yours. There is no moment without that question. Questioning the questioner. Meditating about the meditator in the who am I. And in that absolute meditation, only that absolute intention to that absolute question, who am I? The total intention to that what is prior, to that what is what you are. In that question alone. And first may that who and am and who, that form and formless, drop. And then alone that stays. And this is the judgment day, the youngest day, because the one without a second, not appearing anymore, cannot remain as one. So even the one sinks into that onelessness, into that whatever is prior, by its nature, to that what is hard. And then, this is the fourth state. And then comes the fifth state, because it's unavoidable to wake up again to that awareness. It's unavoidable, you wake up again, if you like it or not. And then you wake up, but then you are in that absolute knowledge of being prior to that. So this is the fifth state of the I of the I. You are that heart of that I, the essence of that I. And out of that essence comes I am, the I am of the I am. And then comes the world of the world, as heart is whatever is. So then this whole samsara is that what is heart, in essence. So this is the seventh state. That's why it's called the seventh state. But after the fourth state, there is no going back into that samsara, into that falsity. So first is everything is false. So from the who drops, M drops, and then the last false drops into that what is heart. And from then on, everything is heart. As I am the world is simply the realization of heart, and there is only heart or self, in no separation. Then there is no separation in separation, there is no oneness in oneness, and there is no I in I. As all what is self.
And which kind of I live?
To what?
State. Which kind of I?
Which kind?
Yeah.
What?
How it looks like.
What looks like? It looks like what?
The state.
The fifth state? No, the fifth state is awareness of awareness. There is awareness of awareness, which is heart. The second is the I amness of I amness, which is the space of space. The emptiness of emptiness. And then comes the fullness of fullness. And then there is, in all that states, there was never and never will be separation. As you are that, which is the absolute existence. Realized or not realized, doesn't matter. All there is absolute existence, and you are that. As I am, that I am. Because only in the I am there is speaking. There is even a statement. And the I am of the I am that I am is that what comes last, because prior to that there is no speaking and no listening, nothing to say. Nivritti.
This second one, space.
That what second one?
What do you mean by space?
Space is formless I am. Oneness. There is information as world. And both come together, the formless and the form. The emptiness and the fullness come together. As form is empty and emptiness is form. Both come together out of that light, which is matter and antimatter, or form and non-form, come together as I am so and so. So, and both come together and both go together. You may switch between both, as said. First you identify this identification, and that is non-identification as I am. Pure I am, and then I am so and so. And then you come into the satori, or the enlightenment maybe happen, that you go to the pure I am. But what can go to the I am can always go back to the I am so and so. So this is called the ping pong. The starting of the ping pong of oneness as heaven and separation as hell. As much oneness there is more hell. It's like rising together. More bliss, more suffering. This all comes together. The idea of heaven and hell. And they're all coming out of this. So emptiness as heaven, because there is oneness in a way. There's pure I am, without identification. And then comes I am so and so as identified consciousness. So there's identified consciousness and non-identified consciousness as space-like.
Beingness.
Yeah, maybe you call it beingness. But what can go to beingness can always go back to separate existence. There's nothing, no landing place here. That is the meaning. There is no landing place for you. Wherever you go, whatever circumstance can happen, the circumstance of oneness can always vary again to separation. Where there is oneness, there is separation. They come together and they go together. They're depending on each other. Without separation there would be no idea of oneness, and without the idea of oneness there would be no separation. This you may understand in that vertical understanding of this one. There's a vertical understanding that there is both is false, and then they drop in whatever way, and then this one, which is awareness, the first I, alone cannot stay as awareness. It simply turns around to that what sinks into that what is heart, or awareness itself, which is that what is light. If there's some question about many.
But since these are just concepts, it doesn't necessarily have to go like that. It can go like that.
No, this will all.
The
This is,
experience have
no.
to pass through.
yeah. Without awareness, there is no I amness and there is no I am so-ness. And back is the same. It first drops this, then drops, or both drop together, but this drops last. Because awareness is the essence, or that source of both. And the last thing is the idea of the source. Goes to the sourceless source. So Jesus said, whoever wants to come to me has to go through the Father. The Father is a pure awareness, or the pure consciousness as I. This is the Father, the source. And whoever wants to come to me, to that what is prior, to that what is hard, has to go through the Father. So you have to, in a way, you have to go, first you have to become awareness, like this alertness, this total whatever, I, without any I am or so and so. And then this drops by itself. By seeing this both as totally false. As form and non-form, or emptiness and fullness come together, but they're only there when this one is. So they're depending on this. But who is this depending on? Because this is still not by itself. It's still that where it comes from. But it alone cannot stay. There is no question anymore. Because there's nothing to question anymore, and that absolute non-question, it sinks. This what?
This is also a concept, or not?
Whatever. But it may stop you for whatever split second. May or may not. But who cares?
Right.
But this is like since beginning of the scriptures or anything, this trinity of Shiva, or the trinity of Christianity, it's in all the scriptures, in everything. So this concept, in a way, worked. Why changing it? It worked
Yes, but
thousands of years. Why changing it now? Why inventing something else?
But if you talk about these three things, yes, I understand this. Then I'm asking, but
Does it help
I
me?
kann es nicht fassen. Es ist,
Thanks God you cannot grab it.
yes, es ist
Imagine you could grab yourself, you could be controlled by yourself. What kind of self would you be? A controllable self.
Because all these are all concepts in this what is. I mean,
Yeah, but
I
this,
don't know,
this, but
but
this is,
if you-
no,
if
but
you
this
talk
is,
about
but
this,
this is
then
what
I-
you are.
yes, great.
So you're talking to yourself in concepts. But it's all concept.
No, I don't mean it in this. No, I don't mean it in this thing. Ja, ich kann es nicht fassen.
Thanks.
Und
And
dann
again,
sehe ich,
and
okay,
again, and
also
again.
hier
I
in
tell you,
der-
the beauty of what you are is that you are ungrabbable.
Yes.
That you can never be controlled by any understanding, by any concept, by any big whatever concept. If it could be total as it can be, it cannot grab what you are. It cannot frame what you are. There is no frame for what you are. The biggest or an absolute concept cannot frame what you are. But this is the beauty of your existence. This is freedom. Freedom from any idea of freedom or peace. You are that what is peace without having any idea of peace. Without any conceptualization of any kind of what you are and what you are not. So why you cannot complain? I cannot grab it. Thanks God. Beautiful, you cannot grab it.
Ich
Hallelujah.
bin sauer drüber. Es ist nur ich liebe auch Konzepte. Also das ist nicht das Ding. Wenn du
So-
so erzählst, dann sehe ich. Oh,
Yeah, but maybe you may see that you are in spite of the concept. Even of that, whatever fitting, it seemingly fitting concept, in spite of that you are. And that may stop you because you see, even that concept cannot grab you. It's simply another concept. It seems to be very logical and thing, but it's simply like another concept, that's all. So what?
yes.
Yeah. So then it worked.
Or not?
Or not? Who cares?
Me.
You still care, you see?
Yes, a lot. I mean, the daily life is driven by the mental madness, experiencing all kinds of thought patterns which cause pain and fear and whatever. I mean, this is just an enormous pressure, and under this pressure, mind is looking and looking for solution and for alleviation of this of the suffering.
Sure.
Yes.
At the moment you are taking that psychic as real, you are enslaved by that and you're in a psychic hospital and for sure you want to get out.
Yes.
But any doctor who comes, it's the same patient.
Yeah. And then you get out, and then they 2 days later they deliver you again.
Yeah, because out is in.
Yeah.
And it's out.
That's the point. The moment you are out, you are in. Oh shit. It's like a turning wheel, like a Drehtür. Turning door. No way out.
It turns the door.
You can never escape what you are. Absolutely no way out. You only may see that you never were in.
Okay, that's good.
That's good enough, huh?
Yeah.
This I like.
That is like being prior to that first imagination. Because the imagination is that there is one who could be in or out.
Yeah, being one or not being,
Being
in
one
oneness
or
in
oneness or
yes,
separation,
yes,
all that ideas coming out of that first idea. The first imagination, everything starts. And then what he said, don't enslave yourself with that first imagination. Be that absolute master, with that absolute source of any imagination, but cannot be managed. Can never be managed by any imagination. So you are unmanageable. So whatever you try to manage is simply an imagination too.
Yes, and then you try not to manage it, and it's the same.
It's the same imagination.
Yes.
So you're always in the same game. Or maybe it's not.
You are never in.
Yes.
That's the problem. You cannot get out because you were never in. If you really would be in, there would be a way out,
Yes.
whatever way. But as you were never in, there is no way out. As much as you try, the idea of I want to get out, I want to know myself, you are in.
That's automatic.
But imagination, you are imagine yourself in. But as you are imagine only yourself in, you cannot get out because you only imagine yourself to be in.
Yes.
It's always biting in your own tail.
Yeah, it's automatic. It's automatismus.
It's a perpetuum mobile. You don't have to feed it. It will run and run and run. This never started, that self-inquiry. It will never end. There will be no end to self-inquiry. Consciousness is another word for self-inquiry. As this I am as consciousness, even as the I as pure consciousness, awareness, the nature of that functioning is I am who. There will be no end to it. And who am I? It's simply like a pointer to that never started. But this, what is a dream, like consciousness, has never started, it never had a beginning, it will never have an end. So that meditation about the self meditating about the self, never started, it will never end. So there was never any Big Bang in any case.
No Big Bang,
Or what?
no Big Bang in any case.
In any case.
Yes, in the moment that he or I, beloved, the Big Bang starts.
Yeah, but even that never started. This is as infinite as where it comes from. You never woke up. If you woke up, if you could stay where you belong, but there is no place for you to belong somewhere. There is no home for you. You are home, but there is no home for you. And there will never be anyone at home. The first one who is at home is the imagination. There is no such thing as home for you. As you never left home, you cannot go back. As home cannot leave home. Only an idea can leave home. This is absolute no way out. If you would be someone who would be at home and went out, then you could go home to that home you left. But as you are that what is home, you cannot go home to that home you already are. Whatever you try, it's a joke. Home tries to get home. Hallelujah. All the homesickness for nothing. Imagine. I think I have to look at you. Ah,
For nothing.
there's somebody. So,
No beginning and a no ending. It's not thinking.
no, you may say at the end there was no beginning.
I mean, it never starts.
It never started.
It never starts something, it never ends something. Also, never start is not
When you can't find
thinkable, no?
no, and then in that non-thinkable thing the mind rests.
Yes,
And that ungrabbable.
but maybe also a concept.
Yeah, maybe. The mind will always say maybe. Because the maybe will always say maybe.
That never,
Out of that maybe mind, there is always a